Hello, I'm Walter Nelson, and you're listening to KSSU, the voice of Springdale State University. I'm here to keep you informed of all the latest happenings and upcoming events around campus and our community, though according to the hate mail I've been receiving as of late, I apparently haven't been doing a very good job. Just kidding. Before we get to anything else, I have to say a big happy birthday to none other than dear old SSU. That's right, this is Founders Week here at Springdale State University. It was 124 years ago to the day tomorrow when the College of Springdale was officially founded. The school has gone through several expansions and name changes over the years before officially becoming the Springdale State University we know and love today. In 1973, after being known as Springdale Technical Institute for just over a decade, the governor of the state officially signed into law the bill allowing STI to become the nation's first university in name only. As you likely already know from the huge disclaimers printed on all of the school's recruiting literature, the title of university in name only gives Springdale State the ability to use the title of university despite meeting almost none of the requirements to be an actual accredited university. In other words, despite being called Springdale State University, our school is nothing more than a community college. The decision made by the governor to allow SSU to become a university in name only was somewhat controversial at the time, though the school as well as the governor's office defended the move, pointing out that not only would it help the institution with branding and funding it otherwise would never be able to obtain, as well as boost the self-esteem of students who would otherwise be, quote, forced to acknowledge their own inadequacy by not going to a real university. Still, the move didn't sit well with some, including Springdale State's rival school, Summerfield Community College. It was the opinion of Summerfield that the only reason SSU was allowed to adopt the university moniker was because of underhanded dealings between the school and the office of the governor. SSU vehemently denied the accusations of wrongdoing, with the dean saying Summerfield was, quote, just jealous they're still a lame community college and we're a university, end quote. In regards to accepting bribes and granting political favors in return, the governor said, and I quote, maybe I am crooked, but you can't prove it if there's no paper trail, end quote. So just be aware that throughout the week there will be plenty of events and activities around campus celebrating our school's colorful history. While the festivities look to be quite engaging for students, the mood might still be slightly dampened by the fact that the impeached university president, William J. Frost, still has not been seen since he set fire to his office and skipped town last week in an attempt to avoid being removed from his post. The university's board of directors remain uncertain as to Frost's whereabouts, so if you happen to have any clue as to where he might be, drop by the administration building and let them know. The worst of winter may be behind us, but we've still got a while to go before it is officially spring and temperatures start to rise. This is a reminder to all residents of the dormitory halls to leave taps in kitchen sinks as well as the bathroom sinks dripping throughout the night. SSU's slightly dated plumbing system leaves its water pipes especially susceptible to freezing, and we don't want that to happen again, now do we? Additionally, all students are invited to come help the facility services crew chop firewood this Friday at noon. It seems the school's heating has proven to be less than completely reliable this winter, requiring SSU to resort to backup measures. There will be free pizza provided for those that come to help chop. Another great upcoming event for Springdale State students, next Wednesday, is the Spring Semester Job Fair, held all day in the Student Union Building Ballroom. Students of all levels and majors are encouraged to come and check out the many different booths at the job fair operated by employers in the area. Those in attendance will be able to learn about the many opportunities available to them upon graduation, demonstrating the importance of college and earning a degree. Oh, I must apologize. It looks like I was reading an outdated bit of information. My producer just informed me that in fact the Spring's job fair was canceled after SSU couldn't find enough employers looking for college students. That's too bad. In other news, the university administration is still very much interested in finding out any information students or faculty may have relating to the identity of whoever snuck a cow into the university library overnight last week. Given that SSU has been unable to locate the proper owner of the animal and has been forced to house it on campus since it was discovered in the library, the admin is eager to resolve the matter. It seems that the university board has been unable to give the cow to the local humane society, which, as it turns out, does not take livestock, and local farmers have been reluctant to accept what they refer to as a, quote, hot cow. In fact, I've been assured that if the student or students who pulled this prank would come forward and simply tell the university where to return the cow, the possibility of expulsion for pulling this stunt would go down tremendously. In the meantime, the cow is being housed inside of the impeached President Frost's former office. The University Agricultural Department has laid down a nice bed of hay for it to sleep on, and is in every morning to milk it, giving students invaluable, hands-on experience in their career field. Now, with all of that informative news out of the way, I have the privilege of introducing a brand new segment here on KSSU. The second most valuable members of our university community here at Springdale State, right after our students of course, is our faculty and staff. Throughout the semester, I will be sitting down and interviewing some of our fine professors and getting a sense of their passions, learning strategies, and what they believe it means to be a part of our school. Earlier today, I had a lovely interview with our own professor of ethics, Matt Birch, who has been at our institution for just over a decade. I visited Dr. Birch in his office, located in the College of Humanities building on the south side of campus. Here is our conversation. Thank you for agreeing to be on the show, Dr. Birch. I know you have a very busy schedule.
Yeah, you can call me Matt, by the way. Being called doctor, it never really felt quite right to me. I often feel like I'm a teenager trapped in an adult's body, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
Well, okay, Matt. Let's start off with the basics. Let our listeners know a little something about yourself.
Oh, well, let's see. I'm married. My second wife, as a matter of fact. Oh, and I have two beautiful stepchildren. Yeah, I never really wanted to have kids at first, but after my now wife brought them into the relationship, I realized just the kind of value that it brings to a family,
I'm a little young myself, but I can just imagine the joy you get from raising them and seeing them mature into adults.
Well, actually, they had both graduated from college by the time I married their mom. What's really nice, though, is the fact that they can afford to buy me the Star Wars Lego sets that I want for Father's Day or Christmas. I would never buy them for myself because they're just, so expensive. Well, my wife wouldn't let me buy them, but having kids buy them for you, it's so awesome.
I'm sure your relationship goes deeper than that, but I won't pry. Tell me, what do you enjoy most about teaching students here at SSU?
It's a pretty laid-back kind of gig, not really something I have to put a ton of work into. If I was a professor in something a little more complicated, like biology or something, I'd probably have to teach them about, beakers and stuff. I'm more of an ideas guy. It makes it's perfect to teach ethics, That's what a lot of my class is. It's discussing, ideas and stuff. Ideas, mostly.
Absolutely. Freeform discussions are an excellent way for students to gain a greater understanding of complex and polarizing issues and themes. What might a class discussion look like in your classes?
I like to present hypothetical ethical dilemmas to the class. I let them share how they might approach the issues,
What would an example of one of these dilemmas be?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, you were pulling in out of the driveway in the morning and maybe you didn't get your morning can of Mountain Dew, so you're not as caffeinated as usual. Speaking of which, I hope you don't mind if I sip mine while we talk. And maybe you're not as caffeinated as you usually would be, so you're not paying super close attention, and maybe left the front door open on accident, and maybe the dog got out, and you get the idea. Let's say at the same time that happened, the UPS truck drove by, and your house's security camera didn't have a great view of the incident, and you could blame the event on the UPS driver rather than yourself when you have to tell your wife what happened to the dog.
So ethically speaking, it would be wrong to lie about the accident just to get the blame off of yourself.
Now, see, that's what my students always say, too, but you have to look at this from all angles. What would telling the truth really do? Sure, maybe your hypothetical wife might understand it was an accident, but what if she doesn't? What if she thinks it's your fault? What if she says it's fine, but she still holds some sort of resentment? See, telling her the truth would only make things rough between me and her without it actually doing any good.
Oh, okay. I guess if you feel that way,
They're similar to another scenario I tell my students. What if maybe one night at the bar, I got really drunk and there was a woman alone there and she was intoxicated too, and I ended up, this would have been a one-time incident, mind you, something I won't ever do again. If I tell my wife about what I did or might have done, it would only hurt her feelings, and it would make her think I don't deserve the Boba Fett Fleet Commander edition of the new Lego set.
But aren't you only saving yourself from the consequences of your actions?
Absolutely not, okay? Me having to bear the guilt from the awful, horrible, animalistic thing I did, that's my punishment. The only thing that would, quote, save me from consequences would be telling her and making her unhappy, too. I could not do that to my dear, sweet, beautiful, loving, forgiving, perfect wife, who I love very much. Could I?
No?
Exactly. That is my cross to bear.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. Hypothetically, of course, yes.
Right. Well, this certainly has been a fascinating look into the world of ethics, Dr. Birch.
Matt, please.
Matt, right. I appreciate you sitting down with me today.
My pleasure. I've got to run anyway. There's a new sushi place opening downtown. They're ending their special lunch prices after 4, so I'm on a crunch here. But speaking of which, I am a bit of a foodie, so if you want to get me on to talk about that sometime, that'd be really fun for me personally. Anyway, I got to go. Where did I put the rest of my due? Oh, here we go. All right.
Once again, I'd like to thank Matthew Birch for agreeing to be interviewed. Listening throughout the semester as we continue to sit down with our fantastic professors here at SSU. And with that, my time for today is just about up. I hope I've been able to keep you informed and engaged with the events around campus. Stay tuned in, as for the next hour we will be playing some popular selections from the best industrial construction sound effects album. Not to give anything away, but you backhoe fans out there won't want to miss this. Until next time, I'm Walter Nelson, and you're listening to KSSU, the voice of Springdale State.